after this huge success of a recent video that I did, I thought that it might be a good idea to just take a moment in full transparency and try to show you what YouTube is really like for the vast majority of creators. So if you've been around here a little while, or if you're new to the channel, you know that I did a video about a month ago now. And it was kind of a somber, I thought maybe somewhat of a downer, but life lessons on if I had known this would have changed my life. And that video has now got, roughly 450,000 views in 4 or 5 weeks. We'll look at the timeline here in a minute. And it's still growing. So it still has legs, and it's going nuts. And I am eternally grateful when a video does that, but that is not the norm. So today I thought I would take you sort of behind the scenes, show you my top 4 videos, give you the lowdown on everything you need to know about them. And then we're going to look at a series of 4 videos that I did together and the gradual progression of losing viewers all the way through. And then I want to take you to what it really looks like for most small content creators. So let's get started. I'm going to put some screenshots up here on the screen. The first one this is my #1 video. I made it back in July 4th. I think it went up in 2023. So it's been up not quite 2.5 years yet. It has 1.1 million views. And I just want to sort of walk you around the screen a little bit to show you where your eyes need to kind of go to follow the things that I'm talking about as I show you these screenshots. So you'll see on this page, it tells me that it has 1.2 million views. Now, it's a little more than that, but it will also tell you that it's 1.2 million more than normal. So don't lose sight of that. The other thing you might want to look at here is that since this video has gone out, it contributed a little over 26,000 subscribers to the channel. And that's how I got monetized right off the bat. I went from 43 to 25,000 subscribers almost overnight. And you will see here in a minute, I'll show you how that happened. It has generated so far in 2.5 years a total revenue of $5,888.34. And I am eternally grateful for every dime that my videos produce. That money gets used for various things. I buy new equipment with it, or I go on a trip somewhere where I make videos for this channel, and these kinds of things pay for that. And so, it's all fun and games. Okay. I'm not depending on this to live. This is not something that I expect every video to do. If you keep looking over here, then you'll see that it has since published. So every one of the screenshots that I will show you the date that the video went live. This was July 4th, 2023. And there's also a box here that shows you in real time the number of views it's gotten in the last 48 hours. And so that's 175 views in the last 2 days. So it's still being viewed a little bit at a time. But you can see then, if you look at the trend line, I got almost to 1 million views right off the bat. I mean, it just shot straight up the chart, and then it just sort of evened out. It's been a real slow, steady climb all the way to today. And so those are the kinds of things that we'll talk about as we look at each of these videos. So that's the #1 ranked video on my site. The #2 ranked video on my site is cooking a chuck roast like a ribeye. I hate it so much I can't even say it. And you'll see that it has 485,000 views. Now, it went up on August 22nd, 2023. So it went up maybe 5 or 6 weeks after that first video did. And it now has generated $4,388.77. But if you look, it's been viewed 1,222 times, 1,222 times in the last 48 hours. I mean, it is still growing. So when you look at the trend line, you'll see that it did nothing for a while, nothing. And then suddenly it caught and it started going up, and it's just been a steady climb, a steady climb, a steady climb over the last 2 years, and it's still climbing. So what used to be my third highest video was another one that I did back in August of 2023, and that was what YouTube paid me for 1 month of being monetized. Now, I've done a couple of other monetization videos. They've not done anything like this video. So I think it's something about that 1 month mark that draws people in. But if you'll look, it now has 426,000 views, and it has generated 9,000 subscribers to the channel, and it has made a total of $1,572.86. So again, very successful. I'm very happy with this. But if you'll look in real time, it's only got 10 views in the last 48 hours. This video is dead. You look at that trend line, it went straight up, and then it just went boop, nothing. Nobody cares anymore. But those 10 videos, they keep adding a penny here and a penny there. So, it's still drawing in. Now, what has become now the third highest. Now, one thing that these 3 videos have in common is they're all over 2 years old. It took 2 years to get to these numbers. So then we come to the new third highest video, which is, I took way too long to learn this lesson. And I think the title drew people in. I think the look on my face may have drawn people in. But then it's a combination of the people who watched it. I had more subscribers watching it. They were watching it longer than normal. Very few people watch it all the way through. That's not uncommon. But the more that happened, the more YouTube kept putting it out there for a new audience. So you'll see it's got 451,000 views. Now look at the date that it went up, August 21st. And I'm making this video on September 28th. So it's been up 5 weeks. The other 3 videos took 2 years. This one's been up 5 weeks. It's drawn in almost 14,000 subscribers, which I'm very grateful for, and I hope all 14,000 of you who subscribed, I hope you all come back to watch this video. But in 5 weeks, it's generated $2,942.58. Now, that is huge, just huge. And if you'll look, in the last 48 hours, it's still been viewed over 19,000 times. And you look at that trend line, and it is still going consistently up. And eventually, it's going to pass that Chuck Rose video, and I'm going to be very happy to knock that out of the second spot. I talked with a friend of mine recently, and he said, how long do you think it'll take before this video hits 1 million? And I'm like, yeah, I can't even think that. I just can't think that way. And he said, well, I'm going to say March. So mark it, come back in March and look at this video and see if he's right. So these are the key moments of the top 4 videos. Now, I took the success of this video and I made 3 follow-up videos based on this theme. And that's what I'm going to look at now. So here's the beginning video. Okay, 450,000 views. It's been up 5 weeks. And then I came out with this video of how I got to be debt-free, because I had a lot of people commenting, I'd like to know how you did this. So I made a video, and you'll notice it's gone from 450,000 views to 14,900 views. That's a bit of a drop, okay? But it's still huge. It's still huge. And you'll see that it's had 283 views in the last 48 hours, so it's still getting some traction. It's made a total of $214, which is nothing to sneeze at. And that trend line shows that it's still kind of going up a little bit. Okay. So I'm very happy with that. The next video I made was on the power of $100. And if you just had an extra $100, what could you do? And you'll notice that video, instead of 14,000, it has 11,700, but it hasn't been out as long either. So, keep that in mind. It's made a total of $161. But if you look at the trend line, it's pretty much over. I mean, it's had 150 views in the last 48 hours, but it's done. The video's done. And then I made one more video after that. So how do I find that $100? And this video has only got 2,800 views. By this time, people were tired of the theme. They didn't really care anymore. I get it. I lost their attention. It happens. And it made $54.63, and it went up on September 11th. So it's been up, 3 weeks? But if you look at that trend line, it died right on the vine. It went up, and then it ended. It's done. Now, just so that we're clear, okay, this is what an average video on my channel looks like. Somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 views. Sometimes they get 4 or 5, sometimes they get 1, but between 2,000 and 3,000 views, I consider to be a pretty normal video, at least for the short term. Now, some of them gradually build up over time. So you can see that on average, my videos will generate $50 to $60. And if I'm just posting, one a week, that's $200, $250 plus the money that's coming in from the videos that are still being viewed. So I had 2 or 3 months this year where my AdSense revenue was between $300 and $450. It just wasn't much. But like I said, it's okay. This is normal. Okay. Now, this is normal for a channel that has now, I'm almost to hit 80,000 subscribers. Okay. So even though I'm still considered a small channel, I'm not really a small channel. I mean, for you and me, this is not small anymore. This is substantial. But I did want to take just a quick look at what a small channel does, sort of as an average. And to that, I'm going to take you to my photography channel. So here's a video that I did, and you can see it's sort of right in the middle of where my average views go. This video went up July 1st, so it's been up about 3 months now. And it has 477 views. It's made a grand total of $1.45. And as you can see, it's had 0 views in the last 48 hours. This video is dead. It is dead. And that's typically what happens for small content creators. I think on this channel, I don't have it up here, but I think on this channel, I've got maybe 2,700 subscribers. Okay. What is more normal, what I consider to be more normal for my channel, my photography channel, is a video like this. It has 112 views. Most of my videos that I watch over time get between 100 and 150 views. And it's made a grand total of 44 cents. So, and again, 2 views in the last 48 hours. You can see the trend line. It had a little run at the beginning, but it's done. It's over. It's not going to generate much, if any, income moving forward. So $1.50, 44 cents. You have to make $100 in AdSense before you get paid. Now, if you make, $20 one month and $30 the next month, they count that as $50. It adds on to each other, and eventually you will get paid. This channel generates about $15 a month. So you can see I don't get paid from this channel very often. So when you're watching small channels, kind of pay attention to the number of views their video has. Pay attention to the number of subscribers they have. And if you like the channel, then, at least subscribe to it. Maybe click the like button. Maybe leave a comment. If you really like it, share it. That helps. And send a link to somebody. That helps. And then, you on your phone, if they have at least 500 subscribers, they're eligible to be hyped. You can add some hype to their video. You have the power to help them grow. But I just want you to keep in mind that on the average small channel, like my photography channel, we're not making any money. We're not doing it for money. Yes, I've had some huge success on this channel that's brought in thousands of dollars, but it is not normal. I'm extremely happy for all of those happy accidents, but it is not normal. So I'll be interested to hear your comments about, these 3 areas of YouTube and kind of, if you have a channel, where are you at? How are you doing in the broad scheme of things? And, if there's something that I can do to help you, ask the question, send me an email to thenewretiredme@gmail.com, and I can answer you privately if that's what you want to do. And I appreciate you watching. Hopefully a lot of you watched all the way till now. We'll see you next time.